Welcome, everybody. Once again, this is Mrs. Denise Parker for Elevate Your Game series. I am super excited today. I have a wonderful conversation that's going to lead to talking about things that are what we love, culturally as people of color, what we love to do in our spare time, and also how we rock our style. And we're going to meet two individuals who are doing it from their neck of the woods outside of California, where I'm from. We're going to head up to DC to meet somebody and also to South Carolina to meet somebody. And I'm super excited because I met these gentlemen at our Black College Expo in both areas, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and in DC, where we had wonderful opportunities to share with our young people about college, careers, and beyond. And on my panel was a special guest who is also doing today's EYG. And in our Charlotte, North Carolina Black College Expo, I had the privilege of meeting a young man who's an entrepreneur, and he's speaking to our young generation right now, what he's doing. And they're just going to share their tips and their nuggets. I'm super excited for today's conversation, and it's called Elevate Your Game Presents From Gamers to Grillz, Meet Two Money Makers. And before we get too further along, I want you to know you can follow us on all our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. You can follow us there. Also, you can go to find out all about our links on thecollegeexpo.org. Click events or programs to find out more about us, NCRF, National College Resources Foundation. And then if you want to reach out to me in particular about career and entrepreneurial opportunities, you go to careers@ncrfoundation.org. Again, I'm super excited for being here. It's wonderful. We're going to have a great conversation. And let's introduce our special guest. Let's meet Maurice Robinson, all the way from our nation's capital, DC. Represent. Say what's up. Say what's up.
What's good people? A pleasure to have this discourse with you guys today. Looking forward to the conversation.
Looking forward to it. And you represented DC all the way. So come on. Or is it Baltimore? Where you at?
I'm in DC representing, DC, Maryland, Virginia. We all a family, DMV. So, yeah, we excited,
That's right,
Rich
the
Grillz, the
DMV.
label. So, we excited, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
I love it. And I'm super excited for our next special guest. Go ahead, Stephon Saunders, all the way from South Carolina. Represent where you came from, where you coming from, where you at.
I'm in York, South Carolina. It's a small city, but it's lit over here, kind of sometimes. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, I love it. And we met at our Black College Expo, and I thought you were just so impressionable, young man, when Dr. Teresa Price, our founder, introduced you and said that you're an entrepreneur. But you weren't just any entrepreneur. You were an entrepreneur with a vision. And I wanted you guys to share a little bit about your company. So before we get started, I want just to go around and just say that, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for having the conversation. And hopefully you guys can dialogue and share some nuggets. So Maurice, first, go ahead and introduce who you are, what's your company, and what do you do in particular? All your hats.
Yeah, so I own a company called Rich Grillz. We specialize in dental regalia, fronts, grills, whatever you want to call them. We also make custom jewelry. I've been a jeweler for since 2012, so that give me about 12 years in the game. I've learned a lot, got a lot more to learn, but it's a beautiful thing. Just growing in my industry. I'm also a student. I'm a grad student. I'm at Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Temple University's College of Africology and African American Studies, getting my PhD there. And I teach at the historically Black college and university, Bowie State. So I wear a few hats, all of them require different parts or different approaches, but at the same time, they all represent a characteristic or aspect of me. So
I love it.
it's
There's
good.
your
It's a good
website
life.
right there. It is a good life. He's educated, he's motivated, and he's an entrepreneur. So I love this. And you just have this distinct way of talking to young people that I never really, saw before. Our young people were gravitating towards just all kinds of ideas, but nobody really talked about doing street style in the way of jewelry and saying that they want to design that. And you were the first to kind of bring that out to the light for our young people to hear. So that was super exciting. So I'm glad. And you shared some really great nuggets and you dropped them at our expo. And I just thank you again. Stephon, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
So I'm 18 years old. I founded my company when I was 13 at my 13th birthday party. And basically, it's a mobile entertainment company. It has mobile gaming theater, silent headphone parties, phone parties, inflatable movie theaters. So we basically do like birthday parties, corporate events, fundraisers, all that stuff. And everything is mobile. So it doesn't matter where you're at, we can come to you. And we're located in Florida and the Carolinas right now. So yeah, basically, I've just learned a lot in this journey. I'm still young, so I'm still learning, but I've learned a lot being an entrepreneur and being around a lot of older leaders and learning from mentors and stuff like that. And yeah,
I think, you starting at 13, what you're doing, that's impressive. And to say that, I know, right? Like Maurice, you like shaking your head like, wow, at 13, what were you doing? Being a knucklehead or messing up in class but this young man was determined and he came up to our Black College Expo in Charlotte. And what was your reason for being in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Black College Expo?
well, I wanted to, I guess, get more out there with the colleges, see what opportunities I could come across, see what things I could learn about the colleges, get a more face-to-face experience and information about them, and see what might be out there. I might network with my business. Obviously, I had business cards so I could network with people and stuff like that.
I love it. I love it. See, he was out there trying to get some more customers and get some knowledge at the same time. Customers and knowledge. I love it. So this conversation is about how you guys got started. One's at 13. When did you get started, Maurice? What age was your business kind of booming?
This business in particular started. I was 22 years old when I started this company. I had a few before then. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, just like my brother Stephon. So it's happy to hear you starting early.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to start earlier now because there's so much access to opportunities, YouTube, and social media and stuff like that to kind of promote your business. But you also want to find a way to um, scale your business up. So let's have a conversation about that. Let's have a conversation about how you see your business, where you want to grow it, and what have you done to think about all these things as young entrepreneurs, because you're both pretty young.
Yeah. For me, it's all about digital integration going into the future. Like, how can I reach customers no matter where they are at in the world and make it easy for them to give me their money? That's really what I focus on. Like, I try to make everything as easy as possible. I always tell my clients the easiest thing in the world to do is pay me. So in a world where we got access to people at every corner of this planet, figuring out ways that they could interplay with your brand and your business and finding out ways to make them feel comfortable, trusting you to spend their money is kind of where we going. And another thing I always say is that every company in 2024, in addition to the commodity or service that they're providing the general public, we are all education companies. We have to educate our clients on the product that we offer or the services that we offer and the applications for these products and services. Like, what potential or capabilities can you perform with my product? Like, what type of clients shop with me? Like, what will be the outcomes if you invest in what I have to offer. So I'm just trying to bring all of those things onto the digital world, publish them on different online platforms while I set up my own online platform where I could host all of this information. So even if you go to a jewelry company somewhere else, you probably still were educated about your purchase from me, meaning that I'm still the pinnacle of their shopping experience, you know. So
Mhm.
eventually you're gonna come see me.
I love it. I love it. And I got to do a brief tour of your facility while you were on camera setting up. And you have what's in your maker space? What's going on?
So we got a little bit of everything in here. We got a guy who does taxidermy in here. We got a lot of tattoo artists. Me, I do jewelry. We have a podcast studio in the back. Like literally everything you can think about, you know, we think we do. And the guys that I'm in the shop with, we also have plenty aspirations and ambitions for how we're going to expand this model because we've been working together for about 5 years and everything has been going pretty smooth. So we just trying to figure out ways to present this opportunity to more creators in our area to give them a space where they could grow and find their niche in the world and build their customer base and make some money because that's what we trying to do. We try to make some money,
I heard that we should all be making some money, especially in this
you
era.
know, you
There's
know.
more millionaires and billionaires now than ever before because of how money is being transactioned in the social platforms and YouTube and all that good stuff. Um, do you see yourself taking on some young entrepreneurs to kind of expand their ventures like young Stephon here? That would be hot.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, first thing first is I'm a mentor in my community. I'm an OG in my community. Like I hire youngins all the time, and I'm not hiring you to grow in my company. I'm hiring you to nurture you and whatever you want to do and give you an example of what it looks like to transact business every day. Like a point that I made at the Black College Expo is that I'm blessed enough that my life is pretty much 100% afforded to me by the people within my own community. Like I don't get checks from outside my community. Like everybody who supports me is kind of like me. So that's something I don't take lightly. So I'm always looking for ways to just encourage and motivate others that come behind me. And plus, I know this sounds crazy, but I think the biggest thing I could do for people is to not compromise my legacy, by doing anything stupid. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
Stephon, you
that's good.
young, so you gonna have a lot of opportunities to do a lot of stupid things, especially once you get to college. Like it's gonna be a lot of temptation to compromise your integrity and do things you're not really supposed to do to distract you from the big goal, the big plan. So I think that's my biggest responsibility to be a young black man who made it from where I made from and never got caught up in any type of BS, like trying to trying to stay good, trying to stay out the way on the sidewalk. Like that's what I always say. So that's
I
kind
love
of
those nuggets.
how I try to
Mm.
nurture the young men. Like I hire my students all the time, like get them a job, especially the ones that have that entrepreneurial spirit, because it's just like playing a sport. You got to practice. You guys practice being a boss.
I love it. I love it. Stefan, you being who you are in South Carolina, you said York, South Carolina, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is it about what you're doing in your space? I mean, you're a gamer. You probably loved gaming, and then your mom probably just slapped you upside the head. You ain't gonna be gaming all day. Well, you better do something with your life. No, I was kidding. What was it that inspired you to start your mobile gaming company?
So basically for my 8th birthday party, I was in Maryland and I had a party with a gaming theater in that area, and I ended
Hmm.
up moving to Florida in my 13th birthday party. I wanted something like that, they didn't have anything in Florida, at least in my area. And because I love video games so much, I brought up the idea that I could be the one to create that in that space. And my mom, she wasn't like just like throwing money at it at first. I had to get a start at it. I started a GoFundMe. I did lemonade stands, popcorn fundraisers and stuff to show my mom that I was serious about it. And then when she like really noticed that, she chipped in and I got it started by my 13th birthday party is when it launched.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. So she saw that you were serious about it because you went out there and raised your first capital. That's what it sounded like. She said, "You're serious about this whole thing." And then it inspired her to invest with you. Is that correct? Or how did it work?
Oh yes, ma'am. That's basically how it is.
Yes, yes. Now, what did your friends think when you first came on the scene? You went from gamer to being business owner. What happened? I mean, all of a sudden, you're the man in the streets.
Well, actually, I was in middle school, so like my friends they weren't like, uh, oh, you're getting money and stuff like that. They were kind of like mocking the idea that I was trying to make a business off of gaming because they didn't take it serious. But I kept, I kept advertising, pushing through and stuff, and yeah, Gizmo.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think most people, if they don't understand something that you have a vision on doing, what do? They talk about you, they rag on you, they make you feel some kind of way because you have a dream or a vision. Do you see yourself, Maurice, in this young man's eyes, like how he's going about his business, just so young, just pushing out it, against all odds?
Oh yeah, 1000%. Like, but the good thing that I heard is, you know, you got a strong support system. I think the biggest advantage I had through my whole career was my parents never forced me into any direction. They let me pave my own path. But when you pave in your own path, it's like nothing is easy. Like everybody else is going to look at the roads already paved for them, and they're going to say like, "Shoot, I'm gonna just be on the fast track to, financial wealth, just following this path. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna find a good job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be a dependent to a CEO at somebody else's corporation. Like." But when you got your own vision that nobody else can see, you're gonna find yourself having to chop down the trees, you know what I'm saying? Like clear the road, lay down the seabed, like put the lines on the seabed so nobody driving on the wrong side of the road. You gotta put in all of that sweat equity yourself, like, and a lot of people don't like working, people don't want to put in that level of work. Like, people love the convenience of being subpar at their 9 to 5. Like, I don't think it's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 personally. Like, I tell all my friends, if you an entrepreneur, still try to go out here and get you a nice little solid little maybe a little work from home little situation, you know what I mean, where you can multitask and get them benefits and everything like that you need. Like, that's why I'm a professor. I teach because they're gonna pay my medical, they're gonna give me retirement, you know what I'm saying? Great demo. I like to smile a lot. Like, so you gotta consider all of these different things when you building your
Mhm.
business and building your brand. Like, how can I make sure that I'm just getting the most quality for my time? Like, I have my business, but they say that the average person who's achieved wealth in America has at least 5 to 7 streams of income. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like, your business is just a stream of income. And when you're young, you got the time and the energy to put your all into it. But as you get older, you're gonna have to budget that time between your business and other responsibilities, rather it be family, rather it be mental health, rather it be whatever that exists. So, like, I definitely commend you, not for just having a vision, but taking the steps necessary to manifest that vision in the real world. Like, I know a lot of dreamers, I don't know a lot of doers. You know what I mean? Like, I love that you have a dream, but I love even more that you're doing it. You know, like your mother probably heard you say, "I know ambitious youngins, like it's not your first idea." You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
know it ain't your first idea. You probably had mad ideas probably since you was 8, 10 years old. But your mother saw you working at that idea, and she's going to invest into you. Like no matter what it is you do, that's just a lesson for life. If you actually out here doing and trying to do something positive in this world, you're not trying to be distracted. You're trying to make something of your life. The people who love you going to support you, and that's going to be how you're going to make your money in your business. You know, like. And then the perfect thing about that, you ain't even gotta be perfect. Like you can mess up, but people see you trying so hard, they still gonna rock with you. They still gonna support you. They're gonna let you get away with things that they wouldn't let a big corporation get away with, you know, because they see you trying
Yeah, you're gonna
hard, they
have
see you
some
sweating.
trials. You're gonna have some trials and errors. Stephon, how can you relate to what Maurice is speaking on, like for yourself? Like you already have the drive, you're already there, you're already doing it, and you multiplied your vision to several different areas throughout the South, and now you're growing. Where do you what? How are you relating to this, and how can you see yourself going further? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years? You're about to graduate from high school and go to college. What are you going to major in, and where do you see yourself?
Um, well, because I'm about to graduate, I'm 18 right now. I'm about to like kind of take over for like the whole business because lately my mom's been like in the background helping me with a lot of stuff. But when I go off to college, I gotta really completely take over and everything. So that's gonna be a big load on me. But hopefully in the next upcoming years, I can keep going, keep I guess pushing my business out to even more states, more than just Florida and the Carolinas, or get multiple like trailers and buses in those states, and just not like fail, I guess, and just keep going up.
I love it. You are going to college, and are you going to major in anything particular related to technology or business, or what is your focus?
Yeah, I'm planning to major in information technology so I can kind of tie that into what I have for my business already. With technology and gaming, I could kind of enhance the services I have or add on to what I have.
Excellent. So, already being on a college campus, I mean, you can speak to this, Maurice, too. There are going to be tons of young people your age and a little bit older who love to game. So, you could definitely set up shop right there on campus and start your own little gaming service right there, whatever school USA you go to. So, what kind of advice can you give this young man, Maurice, about doing a business while he's in college, while he's pursuing his education? Because you are doing it for yourself.
1000%. I want one piece of advice I give you is your customer is not limited to the students of the university, but the university itself, especially for what you're doing, you know, wherever it be pop-up installations at events like basketball games, homecoming, you know. So I would get with that who's ever in charge of like student affairs and really start to build a good relationship because your company can be contracted to do a lot of work for the university. You know, like I used to always have contracts with my school. Like I was in college, I would be making like crazy money, just a contract to do this type of service for and I would just get somebody else that I do had the business, or I would Google the business like, oh, I'm trying to think of a good example. One example was like, my school wanted to do boxing classes. So
Mhm.
like I knew they was trying to do boxing classes, but they was having trouble finding coaches. So I told them that you know, I could set up I had a service that did something like that. So they gave me $3,000 and I just went to the gym and found a coach and gave him $1,500 to come teach the class. Like so like they got a budget that they have to spend every year. Every organization, every student this is just this I don't really give vague advice. I'm gonna give you a direct line to some bread. Like Every organization, the fraternities, the sororities, the little student groups, all of them get a budget from student affairs of at least $500. Well, in my schools, they were like $500. In some schools, it was a little bit more that they can petition the student government to give them to spend on events. Like if you have a gaming service, anybody who wants gaming at their event, they can pay you that $500 to set up just right there. So I would be just thinking of yourself as not only someone who's trying to get, other 18, 19, 20, 21 year olds to support you. Think about them older people that's in the administrative side who are looking to connect with the youngins, and you are going to be the what representatives call the ambassador of the youth to your institution. Like, be the representative of your demographic. Everybody trying to get to y'all. Everybody trying to influence y'all one way or another. Be an influencer among your own people, not on social media, but in business. Like, it's a difference. It's a difference. The people who are leaders and influential in business, 9 times out of 10, nobody knows their name.
I love it. I love it. That is some true nuggets. What do you feel about that, Stephon? You like those ideas, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I actually,
Yes.
I've taken a tour at FAMU, which is a university I plan on going to, and I told them about my business, and they're already like getting behind it, and they're trying to, if I do go there, they're trying to see how what I could do to help for the community and stuff.
Okay, Rattler.
Mm.
Okay, Rattler. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good. Networking is your net worth. That's how you get more money. It's putting yourself out there, saying what you do, not being ashamed, or even if you don't have all the pieces put together, you don't have all the ideas, you'll be around the right people, and then they will help guide you in what you, and you just want to protect yourself along the way. A lot of people have a lot of great ideas. They want to pull on you. How do you guys both protect your ideas, protect your property, because you guys have stuff that's cost a lot of money to maintain? You, Stephon, with your technology, you have to make sure all your games are up to par and make sure people are not misusing and abusing. And Maurice, you have jewelry, which is very high end. How do you protect this stuff? How do you protect it from other people misusing and abusing just your name and also your brand? Jump in like double dutch.
Oh,
Anybody can go.
okay, so well, I have like a LLC for my business, so anybody that, and for my name, so anybody that like tries to, I guess, take from my business and my name, I can. That's like a court case, I guess. So I'm protected legally. And then for my technology, we have like, what's it called? Like all the protection plans on the stuff, and then for the events, we like obviously monitor everything. So we make sure nobody like is leaving with any of our stuff, or like if they take a controller, they can't go out the bus without anything. And yeah,
That's
that's the
excellent.
main
That's
part.
excellent. I love it. And out of that, have you gained respect in what you're doing in within the people, your peers, the young people who are gamers like you, and also adults who are looking at your business and saying, "Wow, he's got it really nice and nicely set up." I may be, sounding like it's like simple, but it is a lot of work what you're doing.
Yeah,
Did
so
you gain a lot of respect? Hmm.
yeah, my age, obviously before in middle school, I didn't get much respect, but now that like everybody's older and mature, like looking towards their future, they see that I have like a plan set up and everything. So I'm like, they're they're proud of me now and everything. And then the adults, they're looking at what I've already accomplished, and they're like jumping out their seats and stuff. So yeah, I've gained a lot of respect in a lot of different fields.
It's hard to gain respect as Black men. As a Black woman and raising a young Black man, he's 11 and a gamer, um, and loves, style and looking good and all that great stuff. So he might be on your end of this on the spectrum too, Maurice too. Trying to get his mouth all set up for one of them, trying to look fly for the party.
Yeah.
I look at it as trying to make sure that he's protected when there's so many things against black people, specifically black males, and how you guys are always looked at and shunned on as being negative, thugs, lazy, whatever the nonsense that's being pushed out there. And when you see young, bright, entrepreneurs stepping up at a young age, doing what they need to do, and he's going after his education and protecting his licensing, protecting his ideas, protecting his property. That's another key thing. It's like you're having true ownership in what you're doing. Maurice, how did you protect yourself in your industry?
I mean, I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, but at the same time, I think it's a lot of power to being a black man as well. Like we got a lot of advantages that, once we are aware of them, we can use to our advantage at every turn. Like, like at every turn, Stephon, you seem like you already on the path to discovering just how powerful, your background, your ancestors, your lineage, and your potential really is. It's unlimited, but we gotta tap in that because the entire world is trying to place, those things on us. Like they want us to fall off, they want us to be distracted. But I'm just focused. So like respect is something that when I was younger, I really cared a lot about, but I'm more so focused now on being insulated, like the biggest hater can't stop me. like, like, like even if you don't respect me, I dare you. Like I dare you try to stop what I'm doing because I plan for everything. I just plan for everything. I'm always auditing myself. I'm always auditing my business, trying to figure out where we're vulnerable, where we're weak, and I'm always trying to strengthen my business. I'm always trying to, enhance my capabilities. Like, I think that commitment to being better is really how I protect myself. When I learn something, somebody give me some game, I'm immediately trying to apply it. Like somebody teaches me something, the next time I see them, I'm trying to teach them something about what they taught me. That's how I am. That's how I roll. Like I think the biggest crime in the world is to be given game and not to do nothing with it, not to play. like,
Mm.
like I think that's a crime. So that's really how I managed to protect my business, my brand, and garner some respect in my community. Is nobody's going to stop me, and everybody knows it. Nobody's going to stop me. Like nobody. It's in the only person that can stop me is a divine presence
I heard
who wants
that.
to see me win. So
That's he only, yeah, the creator only wants to see us win, especially because we're proud, we are his creation. The part of that which I want to lead into to close us out is two things. One, we as a people have so much to offer the world. We already did. We already poured into the world so much of our talents, our skills. Now it's time to have ownership in our own spaces, like actually have ownership on it. Take pride in having businesses, maintaining them, legacying them to younger generations, and to expanding our brands and how we do that. Education, like you said, Reese, once you're woke, once you're, alert to the things that you have, you can't turn it off. And you mentioned something in our panel discussion that was really powerful that I'm actually using now in some of my talks. Is like once you figure out what you want to be and what you want to do, you go on to school and you write papers and you master around that idea. Like if it's a history paper, you write the history on business and how games got produced and started. If it's you're writing a finance paper, you write about the finance behind certain things so that you know more about your industry, your vision of how you can scale it up, all the different innuendos. Can you give us some more nuggets on what you were saying about that? Do you recall that conversation?
yeah, for sure. I tell everybody that like you have to use your education for your benefit. Like of course they're going to be teaching you things, but your professor doesn't know you. Like I don't know what you're looking for out of my communications class. Like it's your job to implement, your goal, your end goal to this money you just paid to be educated. So if I'm taking a public speaking class, like I'm specifically going to be talking to my professor about like um uh customer interactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I work on, instead of doing an elevator pitch, I would tell my freshmen, like, okay, you got to learn how to do a 30-second elevator pitch where you introduce yourself. Like,
Mhm.
if I was a student, I'd be like, can I instead do a 30-second pitch to someone I'm trying to get to support my business, and you critique me on that and give me pointers that I can improve on that, instead of doing like cater things to you. Like we was talking, if you got a history paper, I'm going to use that opportunity to write a paper about what I'm doing already. Like the work you've already put in is valuable. So when you go to school to educate yourself, yes, your major is information technology, but you understand your business, you have a brand. So every credit you take, whether it be a major credit or an elective credit, should go towards fine tuning your knowledge about your industry. Like a part of being a student is also educating someone about your essence and your nature and your vision and your perspective of life. And the clearer you are, the more clarity you have over those things. Like you good, Stephon. You already miles ahead of other people in your age bracket. But at the same time, you can't get comfortable being ahead of people in your age bracket, because you know better than me. Like a lot of people 17, 16, 18 just don't have the same drive and ambitions as you. They haven't figured out a purpose even close to yours. So again, activate your purpose,
Mm.
activate your purpose so that you're making the most of it. Activate your purpose so you can maximize your time. You know, you gotta
That's fire.
maximize your time. You gotta
Mhm. That's
maximize your time, bro. Like I tell all my students that time is the unit of measurement of energy spent. So if you're going to spend your energy getting this degree from this 4-year institution, try to go do two birds in one stone. Like, how can I also use me pursuing this degree to allow this $1 billion company that you call FAMU or wherever you go to assist me in building my brand and putting me in front of eyes of different people. Like when you my age doing what you're doing, not impressive. But when you're your age doing what you're doing, is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So by the time
mhm.
you get to my age, I expect you to be way bigger and further than I am. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you've had the benefit of having black men, be able to pour into you, black women like Denise and Parker to be able to pour into you to give you guidance. Just listen and stay on your grind and activate your plan. Don't ever think you know too much to know some more. Like be a learner for the rest of your life. That way
Be a
nobody has
learner.
got access to information that you
I love
ignore it
it.
rather. The worst thing, the
I
only thing
love
worse
it.
than not knowing is ignoring what you know. Like,
Mhm.
don't be that guy.
Mhm. Don't be that guy. Stefan, what do you want to say to your generation that hasn't figured it out yet like you have? It's okay that they haven't figured it out, but sometimes, a lot of times, they're fighting against so many obstacles, distractions, or whatever you want to call it in life. And some have opportunities, some don't see the opportunities that they have. Some don't have any because they're dealing with a lot of trauma or some drama. But you seem like you have a balance in your life. What can you say to a younger person who is your age, who's ambitious but doesn't know where to get started and how to do it, or not motivated, but they really know they want to do something, but they're really not motivated because they don't have that support system like you do? What do you say to a young person like that?
Um, well, personally, I know since like the whole pandemic, it kind of set us back in like how we
Mhm.
are mentally and how our drive is. But I mean, you just gotta think about like your future and where you want to be, and you
Mm.
got to use every single day to your advantage so you can get to where you want to be, because you're not going to be rich at 30 or 40 just from talking about it or thinking about it. You have to actually like take your time, but eventually you have to take a step forward in getting to where you want to be. And it's going to be hard, obviously, and some people have more resources and support than others, but it's still possible to get where you want to be and just chase your dreams.
Man, he's simple and it's real. It's not, it's like just easy. It comes easy. It's come natural. He's just like he's the Kobe Bryant. He just make it look so easy, but it's really difficult. It's just like I love it. I wanted to interview you, both of you guys, because you guys in two different cities. I met in a week. I met two different men who were rising and stars already. You were rising and still rising and stars. And I just wanted to make sure we highlight those in our community, highlight in America, highlight in the world what they're doing, the impact. Your company, Maurice, say it again. What is it?
Rich Grillz LLC. Check us out on Instagram, Rich Grillz. Check out the website. Hit me up. Don't be a stranger.
All right. And that's his email, rich@richgrills.com. Personalizing the style of your mouth, the swag in your for your brag. Okay, that's cute. Swag for your brag. Okay. And that's his IG. And then Stephon, who are you and what's your company? Like what's your, say your last thing?
Stephon Saunders, my company is Street Gamez with the Z. It's a mobile entertainment company. We offer plenty of services for any type of party, fundraisers, tournaments, anything.
Yes, and then they can reach you on IG and other social media platforms, of course. And then this is your email, right? This is what this email you can just reach out to you to talk to you personally or place an event like schedule an event.
Yes, ma'am.
Both. All right. Well, that's what it is. I love it. This is an amazing time that we've had. I want to thank my two amazing entrepreneurs and having this conversation, elevating our games to the next level, not just in our who we are and what we want to do in visionary, but also in our education and how we're going to apply it to our businesses. You both are highly intelligent as far as what you aspire to do, which makes me want to elevate and get more intelligent in what I want to do. And you're always hungry and always thirsty. And I'm glad that you guys took the time. Thank you again. And once again, to my studio audience, I want to say thank you for joining us. Elevate your game. Mrs. Denise Parker, Internships and Careers Director for National College Resources Foundation, aka NCRF. And you can reach us again on all our socials at IG, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. And at NCR Foundation is our handle. Once again, this is Denise. Until I see you again. Thank you. Hi, I'm Denise Parker, National College Resources Foundation Director of Internships and Careers. I'm super excited because we've been helping our students to get opportunities with our corporate partners and our sponsors to make sure they get internships and early career pipeline pathways into the jobs of their dreams. It's awesome because we're not just helping them with resume building and interview tips, but we're also helping them to figure out how their major is mixed into what they want to do in their passions for life. And it's finding a purpose. It's not just a job to build up skills, it's also to find their career journey. Not everybody knows what they want to do when they get older. Not everybody can figure it out along the way. It might take 20 years, it might take 15 years, it might take 5 years. But guess what? Our organization, NCRF, is here to help them, follow them through, to find that support that they need from the resources that we have from our wonderful corporate partners. And I'm here to advocate for you as an internship and careers director.